Warning: the following podcast contains adult language and childish comedy. Listener discretion is advised. And now, please adjust your headphone volume to an unreasonable level and enjoy the most dynamic and electrifyingly entertaining podcast ever to conquer cyberspace. This is
Amish Baby Machine.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the most powerful podcast ever created, the Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast, starring me, Dags. When we talk about power, we got to talk about the powerful Johnny Rage.
Yes, sir, in the flesh, and a lot of it, my friend.
That's a lot of flesh.
Speaking of which, Dags, last time we talked, I was thinking about this as you're doing that powerful intro. That's what we call in the business. Welcome. I'm jumping now. I'm jumping from topic to topic, but I had the Popeye sandwich. We're going to review that today. I told Fan, the flock, I was going to do that. I was actually going to do it live in studio with you, but because of our schedule differences, we couldn't make that happen. But I'm going to talk about that on this great podcast episode, the Popeyes grilled or
Popeye's powerful
sandwich
review. We're excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
We took a week off because I had to spend time with your family. When I say you, I mean the flock of Amish. How did everyone have a good Thanksgiving? And if you're in other countries throughout the world, are you enjoying the winter season, or is it whatever season it is? Enjoy. Welcome to this podcast. If you're a first-time listener to this powerful podcast, what it is, we talk about pop culture, we talk about food, movies, games, everything. We talk about our lives. It's powerful. And just think of it as us talking to you, because it's just like you're in the room with us partying. It's a powerful time. Today's show, we're going to do the powerful Popeye sandwich review. We have powerful movies we're going to review. We're just going to talk about life. Sit back, take a sip of your favorite beverage. Speaking of beverages, I'm enjoying Tailwager Blend Powerful Coffee. Oh, it's powerful. And if you want to have a cup of this powerful coffee, please go to alaskadogworks.com. Check it out. Type in coupon code Amish Baby Machine. That way it'll support them. It'll support us. And it will be a powerful time for you to enjoy this powerful coffee.
Dags, I got bad news for you. Santa Claus suit doesn't even fit me anymore. What does that tell you?
Whoa.
It's a sad day when Santa Claus... I mean, how big was Santa Claus, this fictitious character? Sometimes you see him, he's depicted as a jolly old elf weighing 300 plus, and I've seen other pictures where he's kind of physically fit. We need a standard.
The physically fit ones,
I'm going to set a standard. We need a standard weight for Santa Claus. Don't we?
Should we use stone like our British fans use?
We can use whatever we want.
Use the measurement stone.
Bags of Tailwager comparison.
Yes. You know, to me, Santa Claus, the epitome is the Coca-Cola Santa Claus.
Oh, that's just iconic.
Yeah, so when I think of Santa Claus, I think of that. Not some weird thing from the Dark Ages where he's like a demon or something. I think of the jolly... He's an elf. Isn't that weird? He's not even human.
Were you scared of him when you were younger? Do you remember, or don't you have a?
I don't have any fears. No, I didn't enjoy clowns, but Santa Claus, I was always because you see the pictures of the kids crying on his lap.
Mm-hmm.
I never remember being afraid of Santa Claus, but clowns. It's not as much afraid of as like I don't understand what are their point. You know, they're in this weird makeup and they twist these balloons into satanic shapes and throw them at you. I don't understand how that's funny or entertaining, but I do enjoy Santa Claus.
How much do you enjoy Santa Claus? Enough to sit on his lap, or would you do it today?
Yes, this is a wholesome show, Johnny Rage.
You'd feel comfortable sitting on Sentis? Well, couple of reasons that I bring up Santa Claus is because I thought, you know what, I'll put on a few pounds. The more authentic you are, too, the more money you can garner. If you're Santa Claus, a lot of times you can tell the guys that are Santa because year round will have that beard. There's good money in being a Santa Claus. There's reports that we have the Great Mall of America here, and the Santa Claus guy was making like 30 to 50 grand a year. I mean, for 6 to 7 weeks work. But this guy, talk about playing the character. He's got the full-on beard, but he's not really that heavy. You know that notorious.
Have you
Mall
seen
of
the
America
picture of
man.
him though?
Yeah, many times.
So there's there's a couple of them. There's the one I remember. He has like this weird. He's non-threatening, and he has like plaid, this weird kind of sweater thing, and I don't like it. He's not the Coca-Cola Santa Claus. The Coca-Cola Santa Claus, he has a powerful big beard, ho ho ho, and you're powerful, and you got red and the white. He has this weird, non-threatening, almost like like public television outfit on. I don't like it.
Okay. So you want, when you see Santa, you want to see the standard issued Santa Claus suit, not a vest. I think the guy.
That's it. That's it. I couldn't think of it. I thought it was a sweater. It's a vest. Even worse.
Yeah.
That's not Santa Claus.
I figured that was just kind of because he's there so long. He just kind of changes how he depicts himself. One moment he's kind of chilling in a vest, and then the next moment he comes back with his coat on, because Santa had to take his coat off. He couldn't always wear it. And he's just
listen. That's like his dress blues for the military. When he's doing the Santa photographs, he doesn't wear a vest. You wear a powerful crushed red velour, powerful jacket with beautiful white polar bear fur, rosy cheeks, powerful hands that could just like tear a phone book in half. That's Santa Claus.
Oh, you're making him sound like a Marvel superhero, for God's sake.
Well, he is. He's powerful.
He is. Yeah, one night he can get all those gifts delivered. What if you use that in a villainous way? Is that a word, villainous?
No, it's a good word. No,
Thank you.
He's a hero, and I would have him, instead of those lame reindeer, I would have powerful polar bears.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he'd be powerful. God, can you imagine it though? Right now, I want someone out there that knows how to draw. Do a powerful sketch for us of Santa Claus, just powerful, sleeves rolled up, powerful forearms, and then powerful polar bears hauling him.
Speaking of which, James, when you said polar bear, reminded me of bear. Did you ever watch that movie I tipped you off on?
Which one was that? No, we could not, due to Thanksgiving festivities, we could not. Tell us about it.
Well, that was one day. How did that prevent you from doing your research for this powerful podcast?
Listen, I run this show. I will make up as many excuses as I can.
Well, here's something you're not going to be able to make up. There could be a shortage of French fries. What do you think of that? Are you a big fry guy? Who doesn't like French fries?
Well, here's the deal with French fries.
Yeah.
I used to enjoy McDonald's French fries when they used lard.
I know.
They switched to that. We want trans fat. We want lard.
Mm-hmm.
We want short lifespans. We want the beef French fries. That's why they were so good. And then they switched, and now they don't get as crisp as they used to. They're probably still the best out of all fast food French fries.
I disagree with you there. I think now that they've got that transubstantiation, or whatever you want to call it, they've got, I think Culver's has got them beat now, because Culver has a crinkle fry, and I've always had a soft, warm spot in my belly for those crinkles. So I think McDonald's, going healthy really ruined their French fry, because there was no doubt it was one of the best in the business.
Well, you are so right about the crinkle cut French fry. Because of the extra surface area, it traps the ketchup.
Right.
Catsup, if you will. And the incredible size of them. I mean, if you stretched out a crinkle cut French fry, I mean, that's about 3 feet long each fry.
I'm trying to think, back in the day, the steak fry was always popular too. Back more in the 70s. It was usually those old seedy nightclubish, or kind of not a nightclub, but what would they call those places that you would eat? A dinner club, supper club.
Not a roadhouse?
and even back in the 70s, they were old, but they'd roll a steak fry back in those days. And there was a restaurant I was at not too long ago. Boy, did it bring back a flood of memories from my youth. But they were rolling with steak fries. I want to say Red Robin, but I could be wrong. I think I'm wrong about that. But anyway, let's face it, staples of our lives are French fries. And according to my people, I got peeps that do this research for me, there could be a shortage coming up in 2020. And this all comes from Bloomberg News. What affected the shortage of fries, Dags? Cold weather and the effects of Hurricane Dorian has actually damaged the potato crops in the United States as well as Canada. This means smaller potatoes and pressure on supplies for French fry processors. French fry makers typically use longer potatoes, so you would not make a good French fry if we used you, Day, because they use longer potatoes. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is estimating a domestic output that's going to drop more than 6% this year's. That's our lowest level since 2010. So be warned, my friend. French fries may go up in price. Or what we need to do is what Burger King has done so brilliantly is they made the fake hamburger. Why can't we make fake potatoes for French fries?
Whoa. You know what's the deal with the French fries? I don't like.
No, tell me.
Well, I like when they use the whole potato. I don't like. It's almost a version of Pringles, if you will. The French fries are mushed up potatoes, and then they're made into the form of a French fry.
Mm-hmm. So what do you mean? Are you saying, because what I can't stand is when you go to a restaurant and they're their own hand cut French fry where they actually take a potato, leave the skin on it, put it through a fry cutter and just put it into the hot grease and they give it to you and the skin is still on one part of it. Do you like those fries?
So you don't like so that's the thing with French fries. There's a million different ways to make them. Like, I don't like the real skinny ones.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fat, chunky monkey, but not too fat. Because if they make the French fry too fat, then it's like doughy inside. I don't like that either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the French fries definitely aren't 100% potato. They are putting some type of additive to it and preservatives, especially because when you do get the French fry just described to you, it's nowhere near as good as even a McDonald's fry of today or definitely Culver's. An all-natural potato just put into deep fryer doesn't cut it. You still need something. I don't know what the magic is that McDonald's has that trumps the, homemade French fry.
We should go back in time and pick up some of those beef lard French fries from the 70s or 80s, whenever they switched.
Oh, I know. That was just pure goodness, wasn't it?
It really was.
And speaking of pure goodness, do you want to hear about my Popeye?
Powerful. We talked about coffee, powerful tail wagger blend. We talked about powerful French fries. Now we're doing a powerful segue into Popeyes chicken sandwich. Coming up, don't leave us now, powerful movie reviews, retro and up-to-date movies.
Mm-hmm. Well, everybody I think remembers back, it made the headlines when a chicken joint, Popeyes, actually ran out of its chicken sandwich. Everybody was getting in on the act. Chick-fil-A was ridiculing them, having a little fun. I shouldn't say ridiculing, but having a little fun with it. They were putting on their marquee boards outside Chick-fil-A. Hey, we never run out of sandwiches here. It was a direct shot at Popeyes. And
he knows.
But
let me ask you this. Is it Brutus or Bluto, his villain, his arch nemesis? Do you call him Bluto or Brutus?
I like the word Brutus because it says so much more. It depicts him as a brute force that is bully. It's kind of a bully Brutus all in one. I like Brutus, and I've known him as Brutus.
Yes, me too. I don't know, the Bluto. Bluto. I don't know. I like Brutus too. Carry on.
Would you call me Brutus from this point forward? Johnny Brutus?
Well, you're no beefcake, I'll tell you that much.
Call me Johnny Brutus, okay? Anyway, Dags, before I was so rudely interrupted, I was talking about the wonderful chicken sandwich, but Popeye's taking a lot of heat about it, made the headlines. It kind of became viral when Popeyes ran out of chicken sandwiches. You're thinking, how does a chicken place run out of chicken where they can't make a sandwich? Dags, I went in on this because I love food and I want to get to the bottom of things. I'm my own food reporter. So I went into the Popeyes and said, hey, what's up with a chicken place running out of chicken sandwiches? And here's the real deal. They never ran out of chicken. The vendor that they used for their buns couldn't keep up to the demand. So they actually had no buns for their chicken sandwiches. They loved the recipe for this bun so much that Popeye's execs said to the bun manufacturer, hey, when can you get us the buns we need? And they said, you know what, to do this properly and to roll this out with your demand, we want to be able to supply without interruption. We're going to need a couple of months to get this done. Popeye said, fine, get her done. So
we need those buns.
Buns of steel. These are not going to give you buns of steel if you eat the Popeye sandwich. So anyway, there's the truth behind the chicken sandwich. And
powerful.
So I mean, I would go in there on a weekly basis. Is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? No, not yet. Not yet. Go in there. Is it ready? Is it ready? Nope. Finally, I go in there. It's here, baby. And boy, was it worth the wait. I'm a huge fan of Chick-fil-A. I love the Chick-fil-A sandwich. And you're thinking, how can anybody do better than that? The pinnacle of chicken sandwiches is Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is a real clean, breaded, no frills type of a sandwich. Very tasty. Popeyes, on the other hand, with his bun, very similar to the Hawaiian bun.
Ooh, powerful.
Yeah, that's what they rolled with. I don't know if it's actually the Hawaiian bun. I'll have to get my people on this.
But it's got the sugar in there, you can tell. It's a sweet, soft bun.
Mm-hmm. But when you look at the top of the bun, there's a sheer to it.
A shimmer?
You get no more of a sheer. Kind of it's kind of the look you get when you look at it's not a dull bread-looking bun. It's like a White Castle hamburger. When you look at the top, there's kind of a moist sheer to it, like you just ran shellac on top of it.
I don't think sheer is the right word.
We're going with sheer. I can do whatever I want.
A shimmer, a glisten.
I like sheer. I think it says it to the T. It's a sheer look, okay?
Much like your panties.
So when you get that bun and you open up your sandwich and you see this kind of a moist, wet, full top piece of your bun.
It's very erotic right now, isn't it?
It just has edible goodness from the moment. I'm very visual with food, okay? Much like wine, you have to look at it, you have to smell it, and then you roll it around in your mouth before you actually swallow it.
You got to pour some out for your dead homies, too.
I basically do the same thing with food. I look at it. I just want to see before I devour this thing, because a lot of people say eat like a starved dog. I have a visual that I need to do, some visual cues that tip me off or not.
Do you touch it?
You have to touch.
There's a pre-touch?
There is a pre-touch. I lift the top off. I want to see, okay, how much breading is on this chicken? Is it a tight, skimpy coating like Chick-fil-A does? Or is it get it on Cane style where, hey, there's really no chicken in here. It's an inch just of batter, okay? I will tell you this, Popeye's sandwich is very similar. I would describe it like this. It's Cane's inside the bun. Have you ever had Cane's, Dags?
Yes, but tell the flock of Amish, we have fans all over the world. Germany, Canada, Australia, everywhere.
Tell them about Cane's.
Yeah, describe it. Visualize it.
Raising Cane's is the actual name, and it's another chicken franchise that's caught on fire. It's chicken everywhere. Why did the chicken cross the road? I guess to get to all these, serve all of us at Cane's and Chick-fil-A and everything else. Cane's is another, they don't put it in a bun. There's no chicken sandwich. To my knowledge, maybe they do have one, but usually get the chicken strips at Cane's. Now, to me, Cane's is very plain. almost too dry and too much breading on it. But then you pull out their dipping sauce and bam, it is a transformation of yummy goodness meets plain, which explodes with a great erotic flavor.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Dipping
just dang
sauce.
good.
They just
Yeah.
have the one dipping sauce.
They just have the one. And they got the crinkle fry and they got the Texas toast.
Let me
Okay.
cut in here. Now, we're talking about chicken tenders, chicken strips, dipping sauces. When you do buffalo wings, would you rather have ranch or blue cheese?
Neither.
Whoa,
And
why is that?
I get wings a lot too, as a matter of fact. I'm a fan. I still go to B-dubs. You know, I get the same thing when I go to B-dubs. I get a dozen a dozen drummies, and I specifically ask the waitress to make sure it's all drummies, and they will, not for an extra fee or anything. I go 6 honey barbecue, and 6 teriyaki.
So
Okay.
you're mild. You're a mild-mannered man.
I'm
You don't like
mild,
the spice.
and I don't want to ruin it with dipping it into any tartars or creams or Thousand Island dressings. I like just the goodness of the. Why do you ask for a topping on your thing if you're going to just go dip it? You might as well just leave it naked and then dip it into your sauces.
Well, there is a powerful synergy. The point of the ranch or the blue cheese is to offset and help take a little bit of the bite out of the spiciness. But you're not enjoying any spicy ones. You're doing the mild end. You're mild
but why
mannered.
would you? Okay, but that makes no sense. You want
Yes,
a hot,
it does. If you look at why they add sour cream to Mexican food, it complements it, and it also, there's a powerful synergy, powerful harmony between the flavors, and it also helps knock down the edge of the spice, the pepper.
Boy, when you talk like that, it sounds so sexy.
It is.
I don't know why somebody wants to ruin their food by. Are you okay? So you definitely like a hot sauce, then? That's what you're telling me.
You have to have flavor. I mean, you reach a point of ridiculousness when they go to so hot that instantly your tongue is just numb. Numb. You want a delicious flavor, and then you want a delicious spicy finish. To me, that's the ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you taste all the flavor of the sauce, and then you have a little kick to it.
Okay, so does Tabasco work in your world?
Tabasco's good, but that's almost a different flavor. Like, I wouldn't want that on a wing. I like a little sweetness in there.
Mm-hmm.
But the point, like I said, is you've tried the dipping in the blue cheese and the ranch, and you don't like either.
I don't care for that. No, I want what I order. I don't want to disguise it with any ranch or any other blue cheese. People that I go with ask for mine. They say, well, if he doesn't want it, can you bring me extra? Because they enjoy that dip. The one guy gets a Caribbean jerk as a flavor for his.
Is it Caribbean or Caribbean?
Let's ask Billy Ocean. Caribbean Queen. But he says caribou. Is it caribou? God, he invented caribou coffee years ago. That was a theme song for caribou coffee.
Not reindeer, but powerful polar bears pulling Santa.
How about you pull Santa? We'll put you in like a.
No, I am I'm too strapping and sexy to be Santa, but.
So you can pull Santa though.
No, that's too weird. We're getting weird.
You can pull on Santa.
No, it's getting weird Santa too. No. All right, keep going.
All right, so anyway, we're talking about my Popeye sandwich. Okay, I described the bun.
Let me ask you this: how big is this sandwich compared to the Chick-fil-A sandwich?
Bigger. The
Popeye is bigger.
Yeah, the Popeye is much larger.
Oh, right there, you got me.
Yeah, the Chick-fil-A is a leaner, slicker, very flavorful, moist piece of chicken.
Sheer, as you said.
Yeah, but in terms of size, Popeyes has them beat. But it's not so much that the coating because the coating is much thicker. Like I said, I would compare it to a Raising Cane style coating, but the piece of meat, it's just a big piece of chicken. And with that, you might think it's dry, but they do a really good job at keeping it moist. And I'm not a real big fan of that Raising Cane's. I'm calling it the Raising Cane's coating, because to me, it just has fatness all over it. It just seems like that would slow you down. Once every 6 months might be good, but when it comes to eating it like it's a sandwich, it doesn't feel quite as unhealthy. It's like, wow, I'm eating a chicken sandwich.
Now, let me ask you
healthier.
this. The powerful is there Cajun spices.
You can get them. You can get them.
Did you get the Cajun spice or did you get the mild?
The first time I did, and again, when I order something for the first time, I like it naked because I want to see how does it stand without any help from anything, ketchup, mustard, or spices. How
Even
does this
mayo?
product eat? Well, no, that's a little different story. A little bit of mayo would be acceptable in my book, but then once you taste it naked, then you can apply whatever you might enjoy. For you, blue cheese, ranch, whatever. They do have this spicy sauce that you can put on it, and I did. It's called the spicy chicken sandwich. Very original. Hey, we got spicy for that. Well, what do you call that? Spicy chicken sandwich? Oh, never thought of that. Anyway, it was too hot for me. To me, the heat completely took my mind off of the sandwich, which I thought was very enjoyable. And I'm like, dang it, why did I put that spicy stuff
Okay, let me
on
ask you
there and
this
ruin
also. You're at the
Ask me.
pizzeria.
Mhm.
You're getting a slice of pie.
Mhm.
You don't put the red pepper flakes on, do you?
You know, I do. That's funny you bring that up. That is so funny, Dave, you bring that up, because I went to an Italian restaurant just yesterday, as a matter of fact. And you're saying to yourself, John, gosh, you go out and eat a lot. I really do. We're eating just an old-fashioned traditional pan of spaghetti, okay? And I got the chili red hots. And usually that shit sits in those shakers for years and it loses its flavor. It just looks good, but it doesn't really have any
It's
impact.
impotent, if you will.
This shit was clearing my sinuses. I'm like, oh my God, some red hots that are actually hot. It was too damn hot, because it's like salt usually, those things. I think it's just to make it look like it's an Italian restaurant. But this shit cleared my sinuses and it was hot, fire hot. So yes, I just had those yesterday on just a very average plate of spaghetti with 2 meatballs, bread, and a side salad.
Did you get hot
So-
hole afterwards?
No, I didn't. I'm very trained to eat slop and not have any unusual response by now. But when you're a professional eater the way I am, that's took many years of training. So I go back to the Popeye sandwich. I unveil it. The bun is looking like, wow, now I know. Hats off to you, Popeyes. Now I know why you waited for that bun. Because I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, if this vendor can't get you a bun, for God's sakes, you can run up to the day old bakery and grab a couple cases of them and start just banging those sandwiches out. I almost wanted to bring in my own bun. Here's my bun. Give me that meat. Because everybody made it sound like this was the sandwich to die for. So I'm like, forget your bun. I'll bring my own. Just lay it on me. Well, anyway, that bun is good. It's a big, healthy piece of meat. If you like crispy chicken with the actual, deep fried chicken, you're going to love this because it's got a really big coating on it. But it wasn't obnoxious when you bit into it. It was moist chicken with
A
a
sheer.
coating, a sheer delight. Is that the right word?
Does it feature a pickle?
It does. For some reason, I will not give credit to that. It's a terrible pickle, though. I don't want this fancy. And when my pickle is sliced, please don't try to make a crinkle fry out of my pickle. You know how they got those edges on it?
Yeah,
I
crinkle
want
cut
just-
crinkle cut pickle chip, if you will.
I don't want it. I want a sheer. I'm going to use the word for today is sheer. I want just a sheer pickle. Okay. I have to actually pull the pickle. It's more cucumbery.
Now,
It
hold
was
on. I know the listeners want to know, the flock of Amish. Do you flick your pickle?
Do I flick it off the bun?
It's not a trick question.
Only when nobody's watching. Is that bad?
No, it's good. Enjoy your
Okay,
pickle
good.
any way you want.
Thank you. But I do not like the pickle on it. So
what did you get with the sandwich? You got the powerful sheared sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Which beverage did you enjoy?
I think yesterday I rolled with. I've been there twice now to Popeyes, by the way. The first time I actually got the combo meal, which was the spicy chicken sandwich, the French fries, which are very good, as you might imagine. A chicken place knows how to make fries because they're deep frying everything. The French fries were very good, and it came with a pop. I think it's about $8 for the whole thing. Yesterday when I went in, I just went for just the chicken sandwich itself.
Who did
I
you
didn't
go with?
Just a couple of adoring fans that kind of wanted to meet me one-on-one, you know.
Oh, it was a meetup, a meet and greet.
Yeah.
Did they enjoy your pickle?
Yes, they did. As a matter of fact, they tickled my pickle.
No, they didn't flick it though. They tickled it. Now, all three of you enjoyed the chicken sandwich?
Yes, we did. Yep.
Rave reviews.
Wave reviews. Yeah, it was. It's pretty good eating, Dags. That's all I'm going to say to you. Pretty good eating. And I said, have you had one yet or no?
No, we have not had one yet. I was waiting for you to bring it to the barn, but alas, I'll have to go by myself.
So you're a virgin in terms of eating Popeye?
Yes.
Okay.
There's no Popeyes near the barn here, so I will have to travel on the lonely.
You gotta go down there, out that Highway 12 up there where that County W meet up, and you'll find up there that it ain't Popeyes, but it's Jimbo's. Jimbo's close, right?
Yeah, up there in Ely, they got the good burgers and the chicken sandwich, not so much.
We don't need no Popeyes. We got Jimbo's.
Yeah.
Jimbo just like Popeye.
Oh, let me squeeze right by you there.
You just reminded me. I rewatched Fargo for again over the long Thanksgiving weekend.
Were you offended by the accents?
I like it because White Bear Lake. That's my hometown. White Bear Lake. Go Bears. Go Bears. I was not offended at all. I thought they were. I don't know where they thought Minnesotans even remotely speak like that, but they were having fun with it. And the what do they say? The greatest form of flattery is when somebody tries to make fun of you. So I was flattered.
You were extremely flattered.
Mm-hmm. And what I find interesting about the Coen brothers that did that movie, they are also residents of Minnesota, so they were kind of making fun of themselves in a way.
No. They're city slickers from the suburbs, so absolutely not.
Well, but the point is, they're from this great state of ours. And that was a reflection of the funny part about it is the movie's called Fargo, but all the action takes place in Brainerd.
But here's the deal with Minnesota, because we get a lot of people. They bail. They bail Minnesota, like Charles Schultz, Robert Zimmerman, powerful, AKA Bob Dylan.
Well, they just don't, but you know what? You got to take your hat off to Prince, who didn't.
No, you're right.
He stayed here. He was proud of his roots, and he banged out song after song, had Paisley Park, because he could have easily have gone to Hollywood.
Oh, absolutely.
But he said, no, I got my boys. I'm sticking it out with everything Minnesota. And
because, like I said, Charles Schultz, Bob Dylan, they bailed.
But you look at the Coen brothers, if you're going to try to do movies, you're really not going to do that successfully from Minnesota. So I can understand.
No, I'm not saying them particularly, but I'm saying it is cool. People like, Prince actually stayed, built a studio. Paisley Park.
Absolutely. How sad is that the guy did? How many years has he been dead now, Prince? Is it 2?
That sounds right. I'm not good at math.
Yeah. Just a great performer, but
powerful Minnesota performer, much like you and me, Johnny Rage.
Right. We really are the ones that put Minnesota on the map to begin with.
Yes, powerful. Right. We use the Mississippi River as the border.
Did you like the movie Fargo, Diggs? I know it's quite old by now and it's had a series and all that stuff, but did you like it?
Yeah, it wasn't one of my favorite Coen brother movies. It was right up there.
Yeah.
They're very clever with their writing.
Yeah.
Very witty.
I didn't care for the movie, actually. I thought, okay, this is kind of dumb, actually, but...
Yes. And we are going to get into powerful movies. Right now, so the Popeye chicken sandwich is the best chicken sandwich you have ever had.
Well, you hate to give it the overall because I do like the Chick-fil-A sandwich. There's no doubt. Chick-fil-A doesn't have that breading. It's just a cleaner sandwich, very tasty. But here's the deal. Hands down, Chick-fil-A also rolls with the sauce, much like Cane's does. It's funny, I'm doing a review on Popeye, and I'm talking more about Cane's than I am about Popeye. But Chick-fil-A rolls with the sauce. Their sandwich definitely doesn't need the sauce, but they give you the fries, and they go waffle fry at Chick-fil-A. So I got to award points to Chick-fil-A for the waffle fry. And then you take their sauce, that magical sauce that they have, which I think is ketchup and probably mayo and a couple of other things and honey, who knows. But
let me ask you this. How many of the islands, of the 1,000 islands, can you name right now?
Most of them. All and right. When we have time, I'll go through them.
Okay.
But they've got that waffle fry. Not waffle. Yeah, waffle fry.
The waffle cut fry.
And you put that in their sauce that they have, and it's an explosion of flavor. And their chicken sandwich is good. But if we just went chicken sandwich against chicken sandwich, I'm going to give the edge right now to Popeyes.
Whoa. Let me ask you this with the waffle fries. Do you enjoy the seasoned sour cream?
I do. That's one time I will dip in it.
Okay, we're narrowing it down, the dipping sauces that you approve of.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I will use the seasoned sour cream.
Let me ask you this. Going back to classic potato chip dips, what is your favorite?
Well, let me ask you a question first, Diggs. Let's talk about the seasoned sour cream. Do you like it when you go to a restaurant and you order food and they say, sir, would you like the seasoned sour cream with your fries? And you say, yeah, that sounds good. Sir, would you like mushrooms on your hamburger? Yeah. Do you automatically assume that's included, or does it piss you off when you find out and you look at the tab? Shit, they handed me $2.50 for those damn mushrooms and another $3 for that stupid seasoned cream that I use for my French fries.
Well, that is a powerful question, and thanks for bringing that up.
These are the questions we have to talk about.
They're powerful questions. Now, I think about that a lot. There's two ways to look at it. Are you insulted? Yeah, could I get some mushrooms on there? Well, you do realize that's 50 cents extra. So that may be offensive to me. What are you trying to say? I can't afford your shrooms? I want the shrooms. But then again, it reminds me of swimming class. When I took swimming class, the beginner swimming class, one of the things is to jump into the deep end, right? So they said, do you want to jump in the deep end? I said, yeah, I'll jump in the deep end. Do you want to use the shepherd's hook? And I go, sure. So you use the shepherd's hook to pull you out, and then you don't get credit. You fail the class. You're the one that asked me to use the damn shepherd's hook.
Yeah, we talked about this last time.
Yeah, I know we did. We talked about...
you're haunted.
Yes.
You're haunted by the shepherd hook, aren't you?
It's also like when you play baseball and the coach wouldn't give me water because I wasn't hustling enough. What am I, a street dealer? I need to get a side hustle going on. Give me the water. That's abuse.
You deserve water. It really is.
Yeah.
By today's standard, he'd do 30 years in jail for
not giving me water because I didn't hustle enough.
So you don't want to be pre-warned that, sir, what you're about to do.
Like I said, it's a huge dilemma to me. Are you going to insult me that I can't afford the extra money, or are you going to surprise me with the bill?
But don't you think it can be done in a way where it's not insulting? Like, sir, if you want, how about this? Sir, would you like mushrooms for an additional 50 cents on top? This happened to me at Texas Roadhouse. The waitress is rattling off all these extras, and the steak was decent amount to begin with. I'm like, oh, that must be just an option. Kind of like you get two sides, Did you want mushrooms? Yeah, I'll take the mushrooms. Did you want the creamy sauce? Yeah, I'll take that. And then you get the bill. And they hammer you for that shit too. It's not like it's 10 cents. It's like $2.50, $1.50, and $3.50. Pretty soon you got more in your accoutrements than you do in a damn meal. I hate that when that happens.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Maybe they should slide into your DMs and just send you a message.
Oh, I stop them. dead in their tracks, the waitress. Is there an extra charge? Yes, there is, sir. Here's another example. We went to a Mexican restaurant. This is about 3 weeks ago. We get nachos and sauce. You know, you come in, they welcome you. Hi, what would you like to drink? We'll take waters, and we get the water. And they didn't bring us chips and nachos and chips, nachos and dip.
Now let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
When you say nachos, you're not talking about the cheese. You're talking about chips and salsa.
I'm sorry, chips and salsa. Yes, chips and salsa. Every Mexican place I've been to, always it's free chips and salsa.
It's complimentary. It says nice things
yes.
to you. Yes.
Exactly. So we're just assuming we're at this other joint. They don't bring us the chips and salsa. So I say, excuse me, waiter. And there's something about Mexican restaurants. It's always men that do the waiting. It's never a woman. But you get there. And so we said, hey, can we get our chips and salsa? Oh, sure. He brought them out and we're enjoying them. And then we eat and then we get the bill. Chips and salsa is on the receipt, $2.50.
No, that's unacceptable.
I thought so too. So I very rarely am that guy. I was that guy that day. Whoa. This is normally free. Now, I know you didn't say it was free, but you didn't say it costs. So we got issues here, okay? All of a sudden, he doesn't speak any English, you know? So we ended up having to pay for it, but I don't take kindly to stuff like that, okay?
Did you pay in peso?
We should have, but we didn't.
Powerful.
So I do like to be told or warned. There should be a warning shot. You know, that is going to be extra. It's just kind of like when you buy a concert ticket too. Oh, sweet! I just scored some tickets for $55, and then, all right, do you have a credit card? Yes, it'll be $105. $105? What do you mean? Well, you got this fee on top of that fee, on top of the bend you over fee.
Yes.
And then we're gonna triple bend
the
you over.
Lubrication fee. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I always say, what's your out the door price?
Boy, you're smarter than I am.
No, I know. It's just you're right. They nickel and dime you. So far we've done powerful, large amount of food talk today.
I love food.
And we enjoy it. I know everyone loves food. It brings the people together. A lot of people are on the social medias and they're just separating people and dividing and conquering and yelling. We're embracing food. No matter where you are, what you look like, creed, color, Apollo creed, whatever it is, you enjoy food. And that's why this powerful podcast is so powerful. The most powerful podcast ever created, the Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast. We love everyone that listens. We thank you. Please go to AmishBabyMachine.com. We have powerful merch. I got a powerful merch sale right now. We got hoodies. We got t-shirts, mugs, stickers, whatever you want. Powerful, AmishBabyMachine.com. Click the link. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter at AmishBMachine. Go to Instagram, follow us there, Amish Baby Machine. YouTube, go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to YouTube. We're everywhere. We want to talk to you. We want to enjoy you. We want you to go wherever you get fine podcasts. Enjoy the Amish Baby Machine. We ask you one thing. Please leave a review. 5-star review. If you leave a 5-star rating, you will unlock the secrets to the ultimate chicken sandwich. Now, Johnny Rage, we've gone on and on about food. Let's do a powerful segue into movies.
Well, hold on a second. I want to talk about the merch.
Whoa.
When are you going to feature the Amish Baby Machine loincloth? Because I want one.
Well, that for you, that would be like a sail off of a schooner. Be a large tarp.
So as soon as we get the Amish Baby Machine loincloth, count me in. Okay.
Yes.
Movies, I love them, Dags. And, it's been a while, but there hasn't been too much. I really, this is a testament. I got to give kudos to Netflix. Netflix original content. I don't know if all of a sudden this stuff is just getting, if they're just getting better because they realize with Disney Plus coming out and Amazon, it's like, shit, we got to do something. So I think that Netflix is great content. Now, I haven't been in the movie theater since you and I saw. No, you and I didn't see that movie. That was the one where the app and it told you how long you're going to live. I even forget the name of the dang movie, and I reviewed it here not that long ago. I haven't seen that. I haven't been to a movie theater since then because of scheduling and time. But I've really been leaning on Netflix pretty heavily, and they've delivered. I watched a couple movies this last week. I thought were dynamite. Now, one was fairly old. It dates back to 2012. We talked about this prior to doing this powerful program. But the other one was a new release, a Netflix original.
Well, The Irishman.
The Irishman, too. I even forgot about that one.
Yes.
And you saw that. I saw it. This has been talked about for a long period of time. Kind of an unusual way to debut it. They bring it out to the movie theater for a month, and then Netflix wants it back and brings it back to its own network. What did you think, Dags? You start off. You kick it off this time. I usually start. You kick it off.
Yes, The Irishman. We are excited about it. It's the third part in the trilogy of the Goodfellas series. Because let's get real. It's just, there's Goodfellas, Casino, and then there's this movie. It's mobs. It's the same guys, Pacino, De Niro. But Pacino, this is his first time. But I mean, it's your Joe Pesci, De Niro, you get all the classic Italian actors in there. Now they brought in they brought in Sebastian, and they brought in Ray Romano. Ray Romano's been out a while, but they usually bring in the newer Italian Americans in these movies. First you got to ask yourself, if you watch this on a phone, did you really watch the movie? Because Martin Scorsese made this movie for the big screen. So I wonder how much you actually lose or how much you actually see in the cinematography, in the detail of the de-aging process that everyone was talking about. Did you really see the movie if you only saw it on a phone? But this was a huge movie, long, 3.5 hours. The story of Jimmy Hoffa, told through the eyes of, what's his name, the dude's name?
Frank Sheeran.
Frank Sheeran. I heard you paint houses. So this was his telling.
And I'm also a carpenter too.
Yes, just like Jesus. So they told the story of him. It starts out as he's an old man in the nursing home, and then it goes back in the different storylines of. Now it's kind of weird because I compare it to the other movie with Danny DeVito, Hoffa movie, where it was Jack Nicholson playing Jimmy Hoffa. And it was kind of weird because Jimmy Hoffa, played by Jack Nicholson, and Jimmy Hoffa, played by Al Pacino, are two different takes on it. It's kind of weird. It's kind of interesting. And if you get a chance, see I think it was like 92 movie.
No, I know you didn't. I know you didn't know Jimmy Hoffa, but in your best guesstimation, who do you think portrayed him more closely like who he really was?
If I had to guess, Jack Nicholson.
Okay.
Because he's so obsessed with, what's weird about Jack Nicholson, normally he plays over the top,
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't handle the truth, it's really, but he played Jimmy Hoffa so subdued.
Mm-hmm.
And then Al Pacino is always Al Pacino,
Mm-hmm.
He's, became a character on himself, kind of like Tom Cruise, where Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise in every movie.
Mm-hmm.
So probably if I had to guess, like all you've seen is little clips on TV of what Jimmy Hoffa was really like, I would say Jack Nicholson played him more accurately.
Okay.
But like I said, this is a 3.5 hour movie with the different storylines. I thought it was too long. And I know everyone talks about the young people having a short attention span, but I think they could have cut some of it out, And I get it. Martin Scorsese tells these epic stories, the beginning, like Goodfellas when it started when he was a young kid, and then it went later on in life. But to me, they should have cut a little bit of it out to spice it up a little bit, much like your Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you think? Did you when I watched it, I was thinking of you in like 3.5. Whoa, that's long. Now, did you watch this all in one take, or did you stop it?
I didn't. One thing I really enjoy is I'm kind of like a squirrel. I like to bury my nuts, meaning if I get into a good movie, I like to shut off and bury it, knowing, hey, I've got a good movie that I get to watch at a different time. So I almost don't want it to end, so I stop it deliberately and then go do something else, knowing I get to watch that tonight, the rest of it. The Irishman was a lengthy film. It's 3.5 hours. I mean, you could golf 18 holes shorter than that. It's very difficult to dedicate, especially if you're doing it at home. If you go to a movie theater and you've bought popcorn, you've paid for your seat, you're definitely going to stay there for 3.5 hours. But when you're watching something on Netflix of that length, I don't know too many people. Maybe I'm wrong with this. Did you watch it from start to finish in one shot?
I did because I wanted to experience it, and I didn't obviously see it in the movie theater, but I saw it on a halfway decent sized TV, 55-inch.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted no distractions. I wanted to watch it, beginning to end. I thought it was too long. Scorsese always uses cool, music to overlay it. I thought he used a little too much of that. They had all these scenes where they'd write this so-and-so gangster got shot 3 times in the head, To me, that was kind of distracting. I would rather have, after the movie, they would show all the characters and show what happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like that. What's that?
Yeah. Which has been done. They've done that in past movies.
Yeah, I didn't like how, he had to stop. Oh, Joey the Bones was shot 3 times. So that, and the makeup, the de-aging, the CGI, the makeup, at first was a little annoying, then you get used to it. But I almost thought these guys are too old. They're all in their late 70s. And they didn't, even with the CGI and the de-aging, it didn't pull off being young men. I almost thought, what would you think if they used other actors as them when they were young?
Well, I mean, it's kind of funny because that's what they did for The Godfather. De Niro played the young Corleone. They didn't have who played the Don himself. Why can't I think of his name? He didn't do the younger version of himself. They brought in Robert De Niro. So that is a valid point because I'm thinking I did watch it on my phone. To me, that's not an epic, very visual movie where you have to watch it at a movie theater on a big screen. It's a gangster movie. There's not any really what do you really miss by watching it on your phone?
But if you did watch it in the movie theater, you do really pick up the framing of the shots and the really nice, the suits and everything they wore and the feel of it, the cars. So you really don't think you do, but like I saw Hoffa, the Danny DeVito movie in 70 millimeter, which is like twice the definition of a regular film. And it was really spectacular. When things would blow up or the sound and the visual, you really do appreciate it. So watching on a phone, I know what you're saying, that it's just like a talkie film. There's no action, but if you actually watch it, you'll see the colors. So it is actually better on a bigger screen.
Well, I really thought the storyline was hard to follow at times. I thought it seemed disjointed. I thought there were scenes that happened really quick, and I'm like, whoa, what just happened here? What an epic cast brought together. Pesci, De Niro, and Al Pacino. I was really looking forward to that. I was disappointed throughout the entire movie, though. I thought this de-aging thing that they supposedly spent a lot of money on, and they did, to me, didn't work at all. I'm like, he looks just as bad as he does now. I didn't see the how they were supposed to be these younger men.
Yeah.
I thought I didn't get that at all. It almost made it worse. I thought Al Pacino, who I love as an actor, this was his worst performance. To me, he was almost like Captain Jack Sparrow. You have Captain Jack supposed to be debonair, more of a Errol Flynn style, but he kind of turned it into a cartoonish character, more of a he used Mick Jagger as his theme for the whole thing, and everybody says it worked. For me, it never did for Pirates of the Caribbean. I thought Al Pacino did much of the same. He was more of he was more cartoonish in his role as Jimmy Hoffa. He didn't have the acting that I thought he was. It was almost sometimes embarrassing. Robert De Niro never says a lot, just kind of plays the Frank Sheeran role. Anybody could have really done his role. It wasn't like you needed a great actor. However, De Niro is a great actor, and so is Al Pacino. Joe Pesci, it looked like he was just going through the motions, like he didn't want to be there to begin with. And there was no emotion with him, and maybe that was the character, but to me it was like Joe Pesci almost looks like you have to wake him up during this whole thing. Not a lot of energy, just going through the motions. So I was really, really disappointed. I thought it was way too long. They could have cut the last hour of it out. And I think because of the fact you have such a star-studded cast, too many critics are afraid to say this thing was a dud. Let's face it. I think it was a dud. The thing that I find shocking about this movie, too, the backstory about this Frank Sheeran, this is his version of how Jimmy Hoffa died. There is no proof that this is just his version. There's nobody can validate what he's saying. They think that this never happened.
Yeah, that's why you should see the Danny DeVito movie.
Mm-hmm.
So the Danny DeVito movie, it takes a different take. It's got, instead of Al Pacino, obviously, he's not in it. So it's Jimmy Hoffa's portrayed differently by Jack Nicholson. And Danny DeVito's kind of like a composite character of all his people they kind of threw into one.
What did you think of Al Pacino in particular, his performance?
Well, out of all of them, he was the best. He's Al Pacino.
You thought he was the best?
Well, yeah, he's Al Pacino. So the problem is it's kind of like the Tom Cruise thing or the Arnold thing. You know, you want his eyes to pop wide open. You want him to be like, you know, from Heat or Scarface. You know, part of the reason people like Goodfellas is that every one of them was like you said, a cartoon character. You know, Joe Pesci was over the top. De Niro was over the top. Everyone, you know, all the stereotypes, the tropes, the mob stuff. That's why we liked it, you know. The music, they glamorized everything. And in this movie, they tried to show that the gangster life is not glamorous. You're going to end up, you know, dead, or you're going to end up in a nursing home and no one's even going to remember. You know, they showed that the picture to the nurse and she didn't even know who Jimmy Hoffa was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was the whole point of my life, you know? So I think that's what it was. And they were trying to show Joe Pesci actually did a good job, but it was boring because he was so subdued in his acting, opposed to like Al Pacino, where we like him to get mad. We like his eyes to pop. You know, like the scene where the guy came in, the gangster, and he was late. He talked about being late. So I find it hard.
Joe Pro.
Yeah. Tony. Yeah.
Tony Pro.
Yeah. And which is cool is he's a British actor and he's most famous from the movie Snatch. So if you saw the movie Snatch compared to this, you really see what a good actor he is.
He reminded me of Mark Wahlberg's brother from Blue Bloods. That's who he looks like to me.
But it's amazing that he's British. I mean, he did a great job. But and I find it hard to believe that Jimmy Hoffa would be that crazy he's dealing with those mobsters. Why would he talk like that? You know what I mean? Why would he like get into it with that? I find that hard to believe he'd be so pig-headed. You know, I find it more easy to believe that it had to do with money. He didn't want to pay back money, or they had something on him. You know what I mean? But they made it seem just like he was saying, "Oh."
Well, their fear was that he was going to get back in as the union president. And then,
no, I know, but they made it seem like he was just this loudmouth and saying all this, "you people," and you know, I find it hard to believe that he would be that over the top and be that obnoxious. I mean, he worked with those people, so I don't believe that part.
But that could be validated because you could probably do research and find that, because he made a lot of his comments public. His death was never public, obviously, but the comments that they showed, he didn't make those one-on-one. He made those announcements in front of cameras and stuff like that. So you're right, but then again, maybe he was in so deep and he thought he was untouchable too, because they made it seem he had dirt on people, like, and he's like, I can say whatever I want. What are they going to do? You know? Well, and it almost seemed like the Teamsters, that whole thing, it was like the Teamsters was him. It embodied him. It became an obsession.
No, you're right. I mean,
him.
Yeah, he was.
And that's all he wanted, and the power he wielded. They said there was the two most powerful people in the world at the time were Nixon and Hoffa, and more people knew about Hoffa than Nixon. I mean, it was a pretty powerful individual.
And then they talked about how the mob. They made it seem like the mob did a hit on Kennedy.
Right, and that's always been one conspiracy theory. And then they were looking at Jimmy Hoffa like, Remember when they were sitting in that restaurant?
Yes.
Ray Ramon and Robert De Niro. They're
Ray
looking
Romano. Yep.
at Ray Romano, sorry, and they're looking at the TV, and then they're kind of looking over at Jimmy Hoffa, looking back at the TV, like, wait a minute, did he do this? They're kind of like, whoa, did you? Because they knew Jimmy Hoffa did not like Robert Kennedy, or excuse
Yes.
me, John Kennedy, or Robert Kennedy for
Well,
that matter.
his brother was going after him.
Right, for the obvious reasons, So, but the movie was entertaining enough, but I was disappointed, and it was too long. So I'm going to give it, out of a 5-star buggy wheel or 5 buggy, I'm going to come in about a 3 for that one.
I think too, being so long, it's almost you have to watch the movie twice, and who's going to do that? But there was so much to take in with those 3 storylines.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
They should have hacked out. They should have hacked out in the middle is where I would have cut out. Because I liked it, towards the end, I liked that because you're waiting the whole movie to find out what really happens, It's even Goodfellas. I love that movie, but to me, the later part in the 70s, and that part could have been chopped out. I think everyone liked the more romanticized part of the early part of Goodfellas. Right. Would you agree?
Yeah, and Goodfellas is based on a true story, as is The Irishman, where Casino, I don't think that's a real scenario. That's more fictitious, to my knowledge. So,
what did you think of Sebastian, the stand-up comedian, his part?
I was wishing it was a little bit more than what it was. It was very short. I liked him. I think it's his debut in acting, isn't it? I thought he did a good job, and it was just a short bit piece, and he's Italian and played the Italian role well, and yeah, I thought he had a little bit of life, a little bit of color to the movie, because De Niro and Pesci didn't. And I'm not saying that has anything to do with their acting ability. Just maybe it was but Pesci looked like he was just on autopilot, So, but interesting fact, Dags, I was doing some research on Pesci. He never wanted to be an actor. He wanted to be a musician. And do you remember the song Peppermint Twist? He sings that, and he was in a band with Jimi Hendrix, Joe Pesci.
Whoa.
He is actually, the musical Jersey Boys?
Yes.
Which is, it's a musical about the band Four Seasons. Joe Pesci actually introduced that group to each other, and they actually give Joe Pesci a lot of accolades for bringing them together. When they got an award for Jersey Boys at some point. But Joe Pesci's real love was music, not acting. And he retired in the mid-90s from acting. They had to beg him to come out and Scorsese had to beg him to come out and pay Bufaliano, or whatever his name was, Russell Bufaliano.
Yeah.
Bufaliano. So he retired from acting in the mid-90s, so that would take him back to like Home Alone, or Home Alone would be one of his last movies.
But it's weird. He's the one, he can do both. I mean, he was hilarious in My Cousin Vinny, but then he can do serious roles too. The first movie I remember was Easy Money with where he was I'm trying to think what I don't remember what year, but like early 80s movie.
Mm-hmm. I'm just reflecting. It's kind of sad though too. I have to admit, a little personal thoughts on The Irishman is when I was looking at Pesci, how old he looks, and I'm kind of reflecting on my own life. Like, wow, Pesci did some great. Like My Cousin Vinny. Obviously, he was much younger when he did that. But then I'm looking at, and I liked My Cousin Vinny, and I watched My Cousin Vinny, and I saw how old he looked, and De Niro, of course. And I'm saying to myself, I'm getting old. So there was kind of a depressed nature of me watching that, because I was so looking forward to it, but then it awoke me to the fact these guys are old. And then it reminded me, dude, you're old too. So I had a little bit of that going on when I was watching that movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's part of it, that, like I said, the show about, we're on this earth a short time, and all that crime and all that lust for money and power, what does it get you? Nothing.
Exactly.
Powerful talk about The Irishman. I liked the movie, but I didn't love it. They need to cut about maybe maybe an hour, half hour out. The middle, I would cut the middle stuff out. You know, we get the point. We get the point of the, you know, it's Jimmy Hoffa, it's the Teamsters, but some of that's kind of boring, and I kind of wanted it, and I think everyone wanted it to be more Goodfellas. You know, more of the over the top characters and the, you know, the Italian food. They had a little bit of that where those, you know, where they were making love to the loaf of bread, you know, and all that. But I think that's, you know, what people wanted. They like the Goodfellas and romanticized mobsters kind of stuff. And this is more, like you said, more depressing, showing, you know, this is kind of like, this is their last movie together, and they're all in their late 70s. And so I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 buggy wheels.
Not bad. I give it 3.5. So our eyes kind of come together what we thought about it, but
because then I wonder about someone that's not a fan watching them, like, oh god, that must have been boring, you know.
Oh, I mean, can you imagine a millennial watching that thing? I mean, Al Pacino, who's that? De Niro, who? You know.
Well, they had a little bit of that with that nurse, like she had no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Know? And that's kind of
exactly.
That was kind of like, and I think he knew that too, Scorsese. You know, I mean, it's almost like in the movie Goodfellas when they show the time changing. You know, you know, from the, you know, the beginning of the time frame. I don't remember what year it's supposed to be, but you know, throughout the 70s, and kind of like this movie, and it's kind of like movie making too. You know. He was trying to hold on, and he was insulting Marvel movies, you know, and and I don't know. I mean, if people are going to make movies like this anymore, if it's, you know, they had a super hard time making the movie, you know, no one wanted to make it. So, you know, if it's all about making money, they're going to crank out the superhero movies, you know, why not?
Right. Because I think I don't know how much it costs to make a superhero movie. But this thing cost them, I'm going to say it was $200 million to do the Irishman. I guess that CGI to make him look younger was a fortune, and man,
that was a waste of money. Waste of money.
Big time.
I would have got younger actors, and then I would have just did the traditional latex makeup, you know, because that CGI didn't even look that good. It'd be one thing if it looked perfect, you know.
Yeah,
but it didn't look that good, so it wasn't worth the money. I would rather I would rather just deal with the makeup, and even if you could tell it's fake makeup, you would still, it's kind of like watching a play, you know. You know, they put on the wigs and stuff, but you still enjoy it.
Yes, I would agree with you there.
Powerful discussion today on the most powerful podcast ever created. We did talk. This was a food-centric episode. We didn't get to all the powerful movies you watched, but we did get to The Irishman, and we all wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, and I'm going to give people a hint. You know, if you're bored and you're looking for something to do, I would highly suggest on Netflix they've got a brand new release called Shot Collar. Diggs, you want to tell about the individual that stars in that, and also End Watch, two 5-star buggy wheels from Johnny Rage telling you. But tell us about Shot Collar quickly, and then we'll wrap this up.
Well, Shot Collar is from 2017.
But tell us about the actor, and that's all. You don't have to do a review on the movie. Just who the actor is. Okay.
It's the dude Jamie from Game of Thrones. That's all you need to know.
Thank you. Yeah, and then watch it.
Yep.
Diggs, you watch it. We're going to talk about that next time.
Yes, powerful. As always, we thank everyone that listens to this powerful episode. From Johnny Rage, from me, Diggs, you've just enjoyed the Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast. It is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and everywhere else fine podcasts are found. Please support our podcast through Patreon and shop our merch at AmishBabyMachine.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. This has been an Amish Baby Machine production.